Downhill time at the Cliff Crankworx Summer Series, which is brought to you in part by ODI, the world leader in grip technology. Of course, you've seen those ODI number plates on the front of every rider's bikes. Of course, we also have to thank Stans. Stans brought tubeless to the world, and they're bringing it to the racetrack every single discipline here at all 3 stops. We couldn't do it without Giant and Liv. Ride Unleashed with Giant. So I think we should welcome the 3rd member of our team right about now before we drop the men. How about Eddie Masters? Do we have you? There you are. What up, dude?
Hey, what's up, players?
We're chilling. It's great to have you involved here. We're looking forward to watching the men's field. I know you're friends with a lot of the racers out there, so we're going to lean on you for some little inside tidbits, the inside scoop, to enhance our viewing experience here. But we're really moments away from dropping our first rider. Eddie, what do you think about that?
I'm excited. I just literally watched the women's race, and I'm a huge downhill nerd. So, yeah, I was pumped. It was sweet.
Well, Elliott's the number 3 downhill nerd in the world. Where would you rank yourself?
Maybe 69th.
I would expect nothing less from Eddie Masters.
Yeah.
Guess what, Eddie? Guess what we have first? We got Trevor Burke first. What do you think about that?
Oh, Trevor, he's a Whistler local, so anyone who spends a bunch of time in a bike park town is going to be pretty handy on a bike. So I'm pretty interested to see how he'll fare against some top World Cup races.
And we got some top World Cup racers out there in the field, don't we?
Yeah, I actually looked down the start list, and there's only 4 riders in the field who haven't raced World Cups. So it's pretty stacked.
Ooh. Yeah, it's crazy. We got this event series, and it's only open to current residents of BC, but it just turns out a large percentage of the best bike riders in the world happen to be current residents of BC. So as a result, you get some world-class competition out there, and it's going to be really interesting to see who adds some points to their tally right now. The way things look for the men coming into this 3rd discipline of SilverStar's event here, Finn Iles, Bas van Steenbergen and Casper Wooley, but right now it's going to be all about Trevor Burke kicking things off in the SilverStar downhill for the men. He's in the gate now.
Eddie,
all right, on course.
What did you think the hardest part of the track looked like so far?
To me, it looks like carrying speed. Like, the track looks like it's kind of flat in places, but there's a lot of square edges, like roots, and so I think it's going to be a key part is going to be carrying speed along those like flat sections. I saw some of the girls hemorrhaging a bit of time in those bits, but yeah.
Well, how do you know? How do you know if they're hemorrhaging time?
I've heard Rob Water use that call, so I just stole it.
All right, Trevor Burke's going to set the bar here for the men. What's it going to be? Through the line with a time of 2:26. Of course, the first rider on course is always going to be the first rider into the hot seat. Take a look at this, Eddie. This is funny. You said you looked at the start list and you counted the riders who haven't raced a World Cup. One of them must have been Rheeder. Yeah, he's never raced a World Cup, but he's won X Games in slopestyle. He's won countless Crankworx slopestyle stops and overalls and Red Bull Rampage. So even though he hasn't raced a World Cup, he's a little bit accomplished on a bike, and he's our next rider to drop on the course.
Definitely one of the most exciting entrants on the start list for me. Just to set, like, you know, we never really, as racers, we never really mix and mingle with the slopestyle guys. But you can't get to that level without being handy on a bike. And it's going to be very interesting to see how quick he can go down the hill today.
Okay, I'll tell you what, like, especially the Rampage win, that means he's good on a downhill bike. But last year, the Fox US Open at Snow Summit down in Southern California, he decided to race just for fun. He beat a lot of full-time racers, and he's dropping right now. This is the slopestyle and Rampage specialist, Rheeder.
Yeah, I know, I love it. Like, it was so funny being at US Open, seeing Brett come down. Bas was in the hot seat, and Bas is like, "What are you doing? You beat me! Like, you're not supposed to beat me." I feel like they probably never heard the end of that. It's like, yeah, I can ride slopestyle and be in the race.
I mean, you've only got to look at how he's going right now.
Yeah.
He's flying down the hill.
He's going so fast.
I mean, he's getting close to the bottom of the course as well, and he's only at 2:08. So things looking good for Brett Rheeder right now as he enters the final straightaway. He's got 12 seconds to play with. Brett Rheeder takes the top by
Smashes
11 seconds. Wow, yeah, he
looks like he left it all out on the hill too. He's given it everything.
I think he knows no other way.
Yeah.
Oh, really cool to see there.
Brett.
The pro freerider crossing the finish line with the top time, and not by a little margin either. 11 seconds is kind of ridiculous on a mid 2-minute course. Did he seriously sign his own jersey? That's confidence right there. I just said seriously, and my phone woke up and thought I was trying to talk to Siri. That was ridiculous.
He was putting some watts out of those flat corners.
Is Brett Rheeder a downhill racer? What is she going to say? Yes, he is now. Oh, Siri knows what's up. All right, who do we have on course next? Fabian Cousini, from somebody who isn't a downhill racer to somebody who can't get enough of downhill racing, Elliott.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, Kus was a World Cup downhill racer forever. Great rider, and now he runs the Polygon team, which you see Tracy Hanna and Mick Hanna on, and he just doesn't stop riding bikes. Like, always at Crankworx, always around, always doing everything. He'll do Mega Avalanche and stuff like that. So he's never stopped riding.
You can take the boy out of France, but you can't take the France out of the boy. He's there sitting there with a baguette in his screenshot. Fabian Cousini on course. Does he have what it takes to knock out the free rider, Brett Rheeder, from the hot seat?
He looked good off the top.
Yeah. I love that little jump that he did at the beginning. What is like Fabian's style, Eddie? What would you say about him?
Well, I was just about to say that I think he started out as a 4-cross racer, so like he's going to be good at finding a flow and being precise. And I think by the looks of the track, having not been there, if you can get little doubles and carry your speed well, like he did off the top, then it might pay off down the bottom. But it looks like he's lost a fair bit of time somewhere.
Yeah,
he's playing around right now. Obviously a mistake off camera there for Fabian Cousini. Not going to be enough to knock Brett Rheeder out of that top spot. He goes into 3rd place as the 3rd rider to drop. So obvious issues there. 27 seconds back. Not going to be Cous's day. And look at this. This is the first time all day we've seen somebody hold on to the hot seat after somebody dropped. So Brett Rheeder, I don't know how long this is going to last, Brett, but enjoy it.
Yeah, I hope Brett wins.
Yeah, so do I.
Yes. I feel like Cliff Bar would also reckon to that. All right, who we got next? Oh, he's going to have to dodge the young gun here, Seth Sherlock, Squamish Loke Dog Junior. He won a Junior World Cup, and he's on course right now trying to beat that 2:14. Look at that age, 17.
Yeah,
he's one of the young BC-based athletes who are really like coming to the top of World. So in races are very strong at the moment.
Yeah, this is going to be the first test for Brett. You can kind of see him like super aggressive, tucking a little bit there, getting a little bit wild.
He's looking quick, right?
Oh, he's only got 8 seconds to play with. He's not out of the woods yet. Oh, guys, I think Brett's gonna keep it.
Yeah, he's got him.
Okay.
I want Brett to go and race a World Cup.
Through the line, 1.7 behind the free rider, Brett Rheeder. All right, Brett.
Keeping the young guns at bay.
Yeah.
Step back from slopestyle this year. Of course, he's still going to be competing in Rampage, but hey, this might be the next path for Brett Rheeder, a little downhill racing.
Yeah. We need to get a hashtag going. Brett for World Cup.
Yeah.
How do you program a human? You just put a hashtag at the beginning. There we go. If we put a hashtag, we create it, I'm sure we can make Brett, you know, what, top 80? What do you got to do to get qualified for a World Cup? Top 80? Say it one more time.
You've just got to have the points.
Right.
Good point.
Yeah, because now they moved it to top 60, but he could at least go. I think he could make it in. I feel like he could make it in.
Well, I would be
This-
absolutely terrified doing what he does. So dropping into a World Cup would be a piece of cake.
This makes it exciting. That's what the Cliff Crankworx Summer Series is all about, taking professional riders out of their comfort zone. But this guy, I feel like he's in his comfort zone right now. What do you think, Elliott? This is Elliott Jamieson.
Yeah, he's got a great name. I think that really goes a long way. But you can see him. He's actually like first rider that we saw pump down the rock garden there, which is kind of gnarly.
He's another one of the Stevie generation coming out of BC, which is just insanely fun.
Yeah, he looks like he's really carrying speed through a lot of those tight sections.
All right, 4 seconds to play with. He is not out of the woods yet. Rheeder will hold on to that lead. Come on. Okay, where's he going to go? Elliott Jamieson into third place right now. What in the world is happening?
This is good. This is good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Brett. The only thing that pisses me off is that he's not racing enduro or slalom. Please, kicking horse, Brett Rheeder. Race them all.
In my I had him in my fantasy league for this week. I didn't know that he was not racing the other two.
Oh,
all right, the plot thickens.
definitely for the next round, we need to see Brett Rheeder in all 4 of these.
That'll be our first hashtag, is Brett Race Enduro, Brett Race Slalom. Oh, check it out. Look at this. Who's going to be next? Going to be Casper Wooley, the kid who's hanging out in third place in the overall right now. He's a youngster out of Squamish. He is 61 Strava King of the Mountains, and he's been adding to that tally here as he's been spending time at SilverStar Resort. King of the Mountains are cool, but knocking a free rider off of the downhill race hot seat would be even cooler. What you got, Casper?
I think we can judge a lot by this first section. We get to see.
I mean, even the start gate looks quite technical. If you don't get on the pedals properly, then you'll need that whole start straight.
Oh, he's going around there too. All the riders who are straight line, and it seems like it makes more sense. What do you think of that, Elliott?
Yeah. I think it's like what Eddie said. Once you're into a section, it's kind of too late. Like the stuff that really makes the difference is like getting good pedals out of the start, getting that drop down, and then that drop down is where you're carrying speed all the way through.
Oh, he might have it, guys. He might have it. He has it. Okay, Casper Wooley by 1.5, and he's not done yet. He's like, I'm an enduro guy. That was nothing. I can ride my bike for 2 minutes and 13 seconds. I want more.
Brett looks sad.
Well, hashtag darn it for Brett Rheeder right there, but what a good run. And hey, still possibility for a podium, but plenty of big bullets to dodge before we can start singing about that. We got Mark Wallace, Finn Iles, Remy Gauvin, Bas van Steenbergen, Kirk McDowall. So many fast racers yet to go here at the Cliff Crankworx Summer Series SilverStar Downhill. The current standings look like this. Casper Wooley in the lead with a 2:13.16. So many more fast racers to go. Who's going to take the win here? Don't go away. What else are you going to watch? Cliff Crankworx Summer Series right smack dab in the middle of our SilverStar Downhill. Of course, we couldn't do it without GT because you just can't spell good times without GT. And of course, the birthplace of Crankworx in general, Whistler Mountain Bike Park. Right now, sleep later. And look at this, not only did they help make this happen, they're even letting us hang out with one of their own, Eddie Masters. We got to give a big thanks to Pivot Cycles, making it all possible out here in beautiful SilverStar Resort. Casper Wooley artistically sitting in the hot seat right now with his bike perched on that very well-crafted bike stand. Who did that? I like that. Casper Wooley, time to beat right now, 2 minutes, 13 seconds. I feel like, yeah, his breath is caught. It seemed like his breath was already caught as soon as he crossed the finish line. He just kept on riding. And when you're hanging out at SilverStar Resort, that's all you want to do is just keep on riding because it's so good there. They got everything. They got the bike park. They have a bunch of other stuff too. You want to see a little feature that shows all the other stuff they have? Okay, cool. Watch. Ready? Here we go. Go.
Have you ever tried eating kale? It's hard. You chew it forever. And it tastes terrible. And it's slightly crunchy but not in a crispy way. And the leaves fill your mouth and stuff. This is the opposite of that.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from...
That came out of the boat, their tubes.
Oh yeah,
Because they're cold.
we're like, oh, they're, but like Revelstoke, Ontario, Australia. Oh, I'm getting the shot right now. Well, I don't need to, I just need to leave my bike somewhere because we're going straight to the cidery.
Brett Rheeder grabs apples from trees, don't
Oh,
let
look, there's a bug.
Oh yeah, that's a bad one.
Sitting for it.
Oh, what a cute couples retreat. And why wouldn't you go straight to the cidery? The place has everything. They got a cidery, they got all these wineries. Nothing to whine about when you're hanging out at SilverStar Resort. But guess what? There was a couple people probably whining when Finn Iles beat them all in the Enduro. That was crazy. Look at this. This is what things look like right now in the downhill. Of course, a whole bunch of riders left to go, but Casper Wooley's feeling pretty good about his performance. 2 minutes and 13 seconds is the time to beat. But that kid, that little punk who whooped everybody in the Enduro, downhill is definitely his discipline, and he's feeling a little bit more pressure for that one. He had this to say about that situation.
I don't feel more pressure to do well. I just feel like I should do well. Honestly, I just, as much as this is very, I wouldn't say arrogant, I just say overconfident. I feel like I should win every downhill. That's sort of my thoughts on it. And it's not like there's more pressure. It's like, that's the event that I feel like I'm going to do my best in. So it's like, all right, time to go really fast. And that's it.
I think there's a time to be confident, and there's nothing wrong with voicing that confidence. The time to be confident is when you're young and you kill it, and that is exactly the situation that Finn Iles is in right now. But you heard him say it right there. He expects himself to race downhill and win. I'm sure everybody else does as well. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Eddie, what do you think about that? Like, bringing that junior confidence into the elite ranks.
Yeah, so when you're young, you've got the whole world at your feet and you feel like you can kill every single race run. And I think Finn's got that, but he's also got the skills to back it up. And when you combine confidence or overconfidence and skill, it can be a pretty dangerous combination if things go right.
And it can make it really fun to watch too. I've seen that kid growing up getting better and better at mountain biking since he was 7 years old, hanging around summer gravity camps in Whistler. But right now it's all about another guy who's from that area, Henry Fitzgerald, on course.
Yeah, he is, rides a ton in, like, I guess, obviously, because he's from Vancouver, rides those trails, really aggressive style, kind of, you know, rides with Blinky a lot. You kind of see a little bit of parallels in that style. Super wide bars. But it looks like he's a little bit behind.
All right. Henry Fitzgerald through the line, 3.8 behind Casper Wooley. That'll be enough for 4th place right now. Brett Rheeder and Seth Sherlock still hanging out in those remaining podium spots.
That's looks like Brett Rheeder. We've got a Brett Rheeder. Brett Rheeder is in 2nd. Yep. Brett Rheeder there. Yep.
I think it's interesting.
Did you have to look a few times?
I just love saying it.
I think it's interesting that we've got a trail bike in the lead, in the downhill, on the downhill. So, yeah, hopefully someone can change that.
Good point. I mean, it would be quite interesting, but I guess that's what we've learned about the Cliff Crankworx Summer Series is crazy stuff happens when you create something like this. And having an enduro bike win a downhill would be the kind of thing you would expect to see to happen at a crazy event like the Cliff Crankworx Summer Series, but I know for sure a lot of these guys still left to go are going to be riding downhill bikes. Mark Wallace will be the last to drop. Bas van Steenbergen, I'm sure he'll be on his downhill bike. Finn Iles, of course, we just heard from him. But you never know. Let's see, who's going to be next here, you guys? Rhys Verner, next rider to drop. What do you know about Rhys?
So Rhys was a member of the Canadian World Enduro team that placed 3rd at the Trophy of Nations. Looks like he's starting on his downhill bike, but he's a pretty accomplished enduro racer and a very accomplished bike rider.
How do you decide whether you're going to ride a trail bike or downhill bike for a course?
Well, I think it's kind of etiquette that if it's a downhill race, you should race on the downhill bike.
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of a gentleman's agreement.
Hey, Benny, think back to like so many years at Sea Otter Slalom, like ages ago, when there was that kind of thing. Like, when somebody won on a downhill bike, even though that course was never a downhill bike course, everybody'd be like, all right, yeah, downhill. All right, Rhys Verner on the downhill bike, but not knocking out the top time held by the rider on the enduro bike, Casper Wooley. So, Casper Wooley stoic in that hot seat still. But a little bit of a shake-up for our podium here, but Brett Rheeder still in 2nd.
That's it.
Yeah, shout out to Brett.
Of course, shout out to Brett. I think it's something to say, like, you know, Casper rides for Yeti and they don't have a production downhill bike, so I've seen Richie put like a 40, maybe a lower 40 on one of their bikes, but Casper might be stuck on a trail bike for this one, so they give him too much flack.
Might be out of necessity, huh?
Yeah.
Etiquette and necessity, two completely different things, Eddie. Come on.
He should still be on a downhill bike.
He needs
to bring back the 303.
Yeah,
oh
totally.
yeah, with like the sliding link and stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You get cell reception with that thing.
I think this event is really cool in the fact that like you've got riders like Casper who might be kind of unknown to the world of mountain biking, but they're kind of being pushed to the forefront of the sport, especially with a run like this.
Yeah, this could be a catapult for some of these young BC riders as well. You know, it'd be great to see some riders use this to kind of springboard themselves onto the Crankworx World Tour. It is green there. Why is it so green there? It's the middle, it's the end of July. All right, Lucas Cruz, another rider from the Sea to Sky area, hailing from Pemberton, a youngster on course. Does he have what it takes to knock out Casper Wooley?
That was really good at the start there. Lucas was crushing it in the World Cups last year at a couple podiums, so I'm sure he's going to get that down.
Yeah, he's another part of the Steve generation that, yeah, obviously Steve inspired loads of these young grovs, and they are really, it's all starting to pay off now.
That's the thing, isn't it, Eddie? It's like Stevie Smith's legacy lives on every time you see one of these young BC riders just absolutely demolish a downhill course. So Lucas Cruz looks good, but it's not going to be enough to take that top time. He's into 6th place with a time of 2:18.
Rheeder, 2nd place.
All right, so you see right now, Tara in that bright purple shirt is going to apply that trusty headset to Casper Wooley. So Casper, a lot of riders out here in this downhill race choosing a downhill bike. You're at the top of the field right now on an enduro bike. Is that necessity or is that a choice?
That's the only bike I have, so yeah.
AKA necessity. Right on. Did you have any mistakes out there, or was that the run that dreams are made of?
Oh, it cut out.
Was that a perfect run, or did you leave anything out there on the course? Any mistakes to speak of, Casper? Casper, you have great hair.
Sorry, it cut out.
You have great hair.
Thank you.
If I'm not going to get the answer to a question, I feel like I should just compliment the guy.
I'm very jealous of the hair.
Yeah, I'm in Oregon. What do I know? The World Wide Web failed us. At least that's just the first time in this broadcast. Hopefully it's the last. Let's get back to racing. Who do we got in the start gate right now? Ooh, Elliott, Mckay Vesna.
Yeah, this is so last minute. I sent him up my suspension, so he's riding my suspension from my downhill bike. You know, I got him on some good settings. We did a couple of clicks, 2 clicks left.
I'm gonna say, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Yeah, that's a great thing. That's we've got him. You know, the Fox suspension's working good out there. We've done a lot of testing on the Giant, and he better win or else.
So I'm gonna blame you if he goes outside the top spot. Are you okay with that?
No. That's his fault.
We're not gonna blame that foot down. We're gonna blame you for messing up the suspension setting.
If he does good, it's my fault. If he does bad, it's his fault.
Well, great run, just not enough to take the lead. Mckay Vesna into 6th place with a 2:17. Cool. That kid is cool.
He's got swag.
He even drinks his water in a cool way. And let's talk about that hair.
I'm waiting for a bottle flip.
Oh, like a Bieber thing? Oh, a bottle flip, yeah.
A Bieber flip?
Nobody remembers that?
No.
All right, whatever. Let's get back to racing. Casper Wooley in the lead with a 2:13. Brett Rheeder. Oh yeah, we haven't talked about that for like 4 minutes. Still hanging out in 2nd place, only 1.5 behind a kid who races full time. He's got 61 KOMs, and that's before he started just racing and pillaging at SilverStar Resort. And Brett Rheeder's just been dodging. The only person he hasn't been able to dodge is Casper Wooley. But my gosh, we got a lot of racers to go, guys. Who are you looking forward to the most?
I'm interested to see if Brett Rheeder has any KOMs to his name.
I was about to say, I bet like Brett is that dude on Strava, like Strava guy 125 or something like that. That you just don't know it's him.
He would have like Martin Soderstrom or something.
No.
As his name.
Right.
Oh, bad joke. I'm gonna just hold on to that one. I like it. I feel like his Strava name is Brandon Semenuk. Why do I feel like that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
My
Okay,
my
we got a
Strava
racer
name
on.
is
What is it? Tell us.
it's Arm Lance Strong.
Hey, there's a couple good ones. I think there's a Guy Cooper out there. There's a Clifford Adaptante out there. I'm not
Oh,
going to
that's funny.
divulge who these are, but oh, what about this guy? I'll bet he plays Strava under his own name.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like as an enduro guy, you have to have your own name on Strava. It's a rite of passage.
Okay, this is crazy. We're catching up with Jesse Melamed mid-run here.
Oh, he's quick.
Of course
He's
the
quick.
enduro specialist on the enduro bike. Does he have what it takes to knock out the top
that was
spot?
good.
Casper Wooley, who was also riding an enduro bike. Oh, I don't think so. Oh, pre-hop.
Dang. Golly,
Did you
it's
see him
so
pre-hop
tight
that
right
thing?
around there.
Everybody seems to go into 6th place when they cross the line right now. That's so in.
Well,
Casper
It's
is
maybe
humbling some
because-
top guys.
I know. What do you guys think he stands up for? Like, is he actually just cool on the outside, but inside he's super insecure? He thinks he just lost it?
I wonder what that is. Like, just seeing what's going on. Like, all right, they just left the finish corral.
I know what it is. It's like how you're supposed to stand up when you shake somebody's hands. He's being polite. He's cool and polite.
Right. If he had a hat on, he would take it off.
Yeah, bow. All right. Let's take a look at the leaderboard right now. Of course, we know that Casper Wooley's in first and Brett Rheeder's in second because we've just been talking about it to nauseum. But what else do we have on this, Elliott?
Well, I think the interesting thing here, and it's always frustrating as a racer, is you see 5th, 6th, and 7th are separated by less than 0.3 of a second, or about 0.3 of a second, and it's like, how does that happen? How do we all tie in this little area? So you get those little groups, and it's sad.
I always wish that they had the ghost function off like PlayStation, and you could you could like track the people and just see where you lost that tiny little bit of time.
Oh, I bet this next racer would love to have that ghost function because he knows it's going to take a top run to take the lead here. This is Kirk McDowall, a guy who's been the Canadian National Downhill Champion 2 times in his career from Port Moody. Let's see what he's got.
I am going to put myself in harm's way and say that he's going to go into the lead.
Ooh, I like it. Hot take.
I'm calling slotting between Brett and Casper.
Oh wow, he's so good at like carrying speed. We were talking about that earlier. I don't know how he does it, but he is just so good at finding those smooth lines and not messing up.
Full disclosure here, I'm rooting for Brett to hold on to 2nd place. I'm just going to let that be out there, okay?
Oh, I was.
Team pre-ride.
I'm off.
Yes! Yes! I mean, I hate to root against anybody. It's so messed up for a host to do. But 2 seconds back, Kirk McDowall
And
goes into
Casper's up
3rd
again.
place. He did it again. Hey, what's a drinking game now?
Too good.
Every time he stands up, take a sip of your water bottle. It can be filled with whatever you want it to be filled with. Oh my gosh! Check out who we have up next. Bas van Steenbergen. The guy who's hanging out in 2nd place in the overall right now. He won the slalom just yesterday. And of course, he was down at the first stop of the Crankworx World Tour, which ended up being the last stop of the Crankworx World Tour for the 2020 season. He was on fire as usual. Let's take a look back at some highlights from dual slalom. He was going up against Kyle Straight.
Man, this slalom course was the best thing of all time. I was watching that and I was so
much
jealous.
fun.
Look at this scrub spine.
Yeah.
So crazy stuff happened in this race between Bas van Steenbergen and Kyle Straight. It was in the first run, Kyle blew a chain. But Bas put it to him. No, he didn't. He got 2nd. That was what it was. Kyle blew the chain and then came back and still did it. But it's all about, it's similar to the Cliff Crankworx series. It's all about competing in a ton of different disciplines and trying to gather up the points. So that was then, this is now. Those points don't really matter because that tour was canceled. It's all about Cliff Crankworx Summer Series right now, and it's all about Bas van Steenbergen, who's 25 points behind Finn Iles in the overall. He won the slalom last night. Can he get some more points here in the downhill?
Yeah, talk about another guy who's good at carrying speed. Saw that in the slalom yesterday. And this is one of his home tracks, home mountains. Rides here a ton. So these are definitely trails that he knows. Let's see what he can do.
Oh my. Yeah, that really plays into
that was
it.
quick.
Took the straight line
I
and
don't know,
basically
though.
gapped the whole thing.
I haven't been like, you know, when you're racing and you watch the clock, you usually have points on the track where you know if you're going to beat someone or not, and I haven't been doing that. And it's...
Oh, man.
Oh.
Oh, what is it going to be between him and Rheeder?
I wish I could see his face.
Is Casper not going to get up for this one?
Oh, man.
Uh-oh, guys. I think he's getting
some,
way too comfortable there.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like, what if he stands up for everyone but Bas? Like some.
Oh, it might have been a lactic acid thing, Elliott.
Too much.
He was shaking it out.
He's pumped up.
He's
Or
looking
maybe we
very
could just...
comfortable now.
Yeah. We could pretend there's some kind of beef between Casper and Bas, though. Why not? He seriously just reclined.
There will be bragging rights from Rheeder and Bas, though.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
for sure.
I was trying to change the subject and not talk about that too much because that's a little bit serious.
Well, I think Brett has beat Bas in every race they've done, but it's good to see the.
That's messed up, Elliott. That's messed up. You had to go there.
Yeah. Brett has to be letting Bas know these stats as well. If we know that Bas is going to know all about
For more on that, we have a headset on Bas. Just kidding.
Oh my god! Oh, I
Bring
wish.
it up.
Okay, right now, this is kind of cool. We've got some overall standings running along the bottom here. This is with points considered from all the different events, but ooh, next in the gate, the Enduro specialist, Remy Gauvin.
Yeah, yesterday he was pushing it in the slalom, on the downhill bike as well. He really did well. He went to Leger last year, did a World Cup, and I think he finished in the 40s, which is amazing. Just to not race a World Cup forever, come in and do that is insane.
Especially on that course. That's an impressive result because Leger, you are seriously moving.
Yeah, that is one of the hardest races in the world to do well at.
You can hear him breathing the whole way down. Oh, he's looking pretty good here.
Yeah.
Ooh, 5 seconds? I don't know, guys. No.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to fit him.
No, he's not. He's not even going to beat Brett. All right, Remy Gauvin, 4.5 back from the lead into 10th place, and I think Casper's looking for that little arm alongside the chair to just kick back. Can somebody get him a remote control, please? Maybe a beer.
We need
how
to
old
get
is
him
he?
a
We
little
can't do
fan
that.
to blow the dust away as well.
No, he's of age, isn't he? Somebody get this man a beer. Or maybe like feed him some olives. Oh,
Maybe
guess what,
some
guys?
cider. They were at the cidery before.
Yeah, all this talk about the cidery. Where's the cider? Oh my.
I had
Okay,
some serious
guys.
FOMO.
Listen. We got 2 more racers to go. So, Casper Wooley's guaranteed himself a podium, but look, these guys go back so far. Finn Iles and Casper Wooley. This is something that not a lot of people know. They used to race skiing together, and now Finn Iles is all about downhill, Casper Wooley all about enduro, but right now, it's going to be really interesting to see who takes the bragging rights and the points. Let's go to another soundbite from Finn, who's always got something to say.
I'd say I've had my fair share of disappointments over the last couple of years, so it's a little bit, I've like sort of learned how to deal with that, and I think that if you have a bad week, you get 2 days off, and then you're back into it, and you just got to focus on the positives. It's like maybe you had 3 bad results, but you had 1 good result. It's just like keep your mind sort of in a good place instead of focusing on what brings you down.
when you're 20 years old, you're still figuring that stuff out. You know, if you could take like his, you know, capabilities and give him the brain that he'll have in another 10 years, he would be unstoppable. He always leaves it all out on the course, and he's on track right now. Finn Iles.
Yeah, man, I think what he said there can't be understated. And him getting that experience from the very beginning is so important, because in downhill it's just so important to have that sort of mindset, whether you're on the track or going into another race or another week.
Yeah, I think that applies to even the run that he's doing now. If he's made one mistake, you don't want to dwell on a mistake. You just want to keep pushing and sticking to the game plan.
Oh man, okay, he's got a little bit of time to work with here. He's in the open. He's got 2 seconds to play with. Finn Iles in the lead by just under a second. Wow, Finn Iles is going to take home at minimum 85 points from this. And maybe the win if he's able to dodge Mark Wallace, who will be the final racer to take to the course here in the SilverStar downhill.
I think it's
Casper
interesting
Wooley
too, like
guaranteed a podium.
Yeah, and he didn't. I think everyone would be like, oh, Finn's gonna blow everyone out of the water. But each race is its own thing, you know, like this isn't a World Cup. Everyone kind of has their own style on these tracks.
So this is definitely an interesting situation here. Mark Wallace, the last rider who will be able to take this course right now. Of course, a World Cup racer. We caught up with him earlier to speak about pressure in this crazy 3-week format.
I don't know. I think no matter what position you're in coming into the summer series, I think there's pressure maybe from different places, but everyone's probably feeling equally nervous about racing for the first time in a long time and equally excited to be here and being able to race. So I think everyone, no matter where they're kind of coming from, is feeling like we're all in this together, I guess.
Thinking you're losing. That was a great quote we had earlier on in the season from Mitch Ropalato, or I guess it was late last season. So what is the mindset of Mark Wallace going to be when he takes to the course right now and tries to beat this 2:12? Currently the top time by Finn Iles. A blistering time. I mean, Casper Wooley was hanging out in that hot seat for so long, and Finn almost put a second on him, but it's all about the last rider to take the course right now. Can he take the win? Mark Wallace.
Yeah.
I think it's worth.
Go, Eddie. Go.
I think it's worth mentioning that Mark is one of the gnarliest riders on the World Cup, and you can just count on him to do.
Yes, I was going to say the exact same thing.
Yeah, he's a silent assassin. He'll always do the gnarliest gaps, and yeah, he's one of my favorite riders.
When I was racing, you would go through the gnarliest section on the trail and just wait for Mark to come down to show you how to do it.
He's such an unassuming bad dude on a bike. But whoa, look at this, he's already outside the time. Mark Wallace is not going to sweep that win out from under Finn Iles. Finn Iles will take the lead. Rheeder is going to get a podium here in 3rd place. Wow, Casper Wooley in 2nd.
Holy.
I wonder if Mark had a mistake there. He was a little bit
tried
further
one
back.
of those crazy gaps you're talking about.
I think Brett Rheeder's result is going to blow up on the Pink Bike comments. I can't wait to read some of them.
I'm eating a clip bar right now to cheers to Brett Rheeder getting that podium. That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Props.
a whole lot to digest
Props.
here. Crazy.
Yeah.
Cheers. Look at what I got right here. Which one is this? Crunchy peanut butter? Yeah, Brett, 3rd place. Ooh, don't talk with your mouth full. Didn't you listen to your mouth?
I want to see the.
Okay.
I want to see the Brett. What was it? World Cup Brett #.com.
Yeah,
We're gonna have so many
Brett for
hashtags
World
at the
Cup.
end of this.
Yeah, Brett for World Cup.
Brett for Enduro, Brett for Dual Slalom. Come on, we want to see more of you,
Brett for
Brett. Let's
King.
do this. Expect the unexpected at
It's
the
like,
Cliff Crankworx Summer Series, a crazy SilverStar downhill race. We're gonna let you hang out, have a little break right now, and digest these results. We're gonna come back with final thoughts here in a minute, and of course, as per tradition, we're gonna throw a headset on our winner, Finn Iles, and see how that run went for him. great race out there. Don't go away. Plenty more exciting talking, I guess, for you when we come back. Goodbye. Cliff Crankworx Summer Series. Of course, we'd like to thank our sponsors. It is the Cliff Crankworx Summer Series after all, so we got to thank Cliff. Send it, whip it, and keep on with Cliff Bar. Of course, Max is keeping the riders connected to the dirt out there. Max is tread victoriously. And rolling with this BC theme, we'd like to thank Norco, designed and tested in British Columbia. All right, Finn Iles took the win here in the SilverStar downhill. He is now wearing our hat that has headphones and a microphone on it. Finn, kind of the craziest downhill podium I've ever seen. You got a free rider, you got a guy who was racing an enduro bike, and then at the top, right where you want to be, is Finn Iles. You've had a second and 2 firsts. Is there any energy left for Air Downhill tomorrow?
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting race having those guys on the podium. Brett Rheeder, I was riding with him this morning, and I don't know, he was looking really good. I'm so stoked for him. But yeah, I actually feel like I have a lot of energy left for tomorrow. I think the heat's been beating us a lot of us down, but I've been drinking a lot of water, and I'm feeling good.
Great. Are you going to be racing your downhill bike in the Air Downhill tomorrow, or are you going to go back to that Stumpy?
I'm going to go back to the Stumpy for tomorrow. The track's pretty flat, a lot of pedaling, and I think the Stump Jumper handle still jumps a little bit better than my my downhill bike.
Well, cool, Finn. Congratulations. It's been an insane run for you right now. 285 points to your tally. You make the math so easy when you win. It's just add 100 to whatever you had before. So go chill out, hop in the lake, get cool. We'll see you tomorrow in Air Downhill.
Yeah, thanks, Cam. I couldn't really hear you there, but...
You have great hair. All right, so we're taking a look back right now, a replay, the winning run from Finn Iles. Of course, we don't get to see the entire track here, but from everything we saw, there's no mistakes. What do you guys make of this run?
Yeah, I think I was just looking at how he comes out of the turns. Really gets on the pedals super quick. There is something to be said about that World Cup downhill experience. Coming in slow, coming out fast, getting on the pedals really quick. That was pretty world-class run there.
Now, Eddie, interesting to hear he's going to go for the Stumpy tomorrow as well.
Well, you kind of have to on EDH because it's all about staying low, carrying speed. Even though it might feel like the feedback that you get from the bike might be rougher, I think you're kind of guaranteed to be a little bit quicker when it comes to jumping and scrubbing. And he won the EDH in Whistler last year. He knows how to deliver on an EDH course.
Seriously, in AirDH, it's all about scrubbing, and I mean, we're talking about the kid who won the whip off at 14 years old in Whistler. Whipping, scrubbing goes hand in hand. So, of course, keep your eye on pinkbike.com for the results tomorrow from the AirDH. But right now, I just want to take the opportunity to thank you guys, Eddie Masters and Elliott Jackson, for joining us here in the SilverStar Downhill. It was a doozy, and this whole thing is far from over. One more event at SilverStar, and the next week we'll move it along to Kicking Horse and keep on awarding these points, and the story continues. So also, I'd like to thank those of you out there tuning in on pinkbike.com to the Cliff Crankworx Summer Series. We'll see you in a few days at Kicking Horse BC. Later.